This is the story of the first slave revolt in American history in 1856. No, not 1856, 1526. Long before that. Excuse me, 1526, the first slave revolt in pre-American history. In around 1526, a man by the name of Lucas Vasquez Allyon from Spain made an expedition. He was a wealthy planter. He gathered about 500 men and 100 enslaved black men on a ship, 6 vessels, and came to what is now the coast of Georgia and South Carolina. And they had a hard time. It's a long story. It's a very long story about their hardship, and very few survived. They came down with disease and so forth. And so happened that one day after Allyon died, he died. Lucas, the one who financed and brought these men to what's now South Carolina, was a Spanish settlement. A group of the first thing they did is get the enslaved people, the black people, to build houses and the church. Interesting that they always build a house in the church. And they named that settlement after St. Michael, St. Michael de Guadalupe, after St. Michael's. It was religious based then. But one day, the slave killed the new leader after the old leader died, killed him, burned the house, and they fled into the woods. That was the first slave revolt, and it was victorious. And victorious. Now, you only could go by what the Caucasian people wrote. So we do not know if they ran into the woods or if they really intermarried with the Indians or what, or if all of the enslaved people were males or were there female among them. And I mean, they would have had to intermarry with the Indians, or were they killed off, or what happened after that? Now we know about the people's claim tribe ratios, heritage, who don't admit they are African ancestry, like the brass ankles, the Lumbees, the Melugians, the Red Bones of Louisiana, different tribes. Everything have black heritage among them. Were they the descendants of the 100 enslaved people who were victorious in 1526 before the English, the British took over, when the Spanish had their settlement in what's called South Carolina and Georgia. And pretty soon they gave it up. And I think the victorious revolt. Now, one point I have to make up is the 100 enslaved black people. that was brought over in 1526. Now, it's different from the British and the Masonic King James, and they planned their agenda in 1619. It's a whole different situation when the King James and the Masonic people idea for the new Egypt in the West. But in 1526, what those were brought over were they black or Moors coming from Spain, and you know the Moors controlled Spain for 800 years. So what they Moors that was brought over, the 100 enslaved African.